Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a fantastic day. It is Tuesday, July the 2nd. July 4th is coming up. Well, all right. I got a great show planned for you today because, I feel pretty good today. We're going to tell a couple stories because I had a fantastic weekend. I'm obviously going to answer questions. We got some good questions. We got some deep questions. But we're going to get a little philosophical on you. But I'm excited for today's show, and you can subscribe to the show now on Apple Podcasts. Old Frankie Four Eyes done figured it out, folks. So you can find me there at Franco's World, Spotify, YouTube, Google Play, all that stuff. Remember to follow me on Instagram at Franco's World _ and follow me on Twitter at FMiller17. And I hope you enjoyed today's block of entertainment as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. All right. No, that wasn't good. All right. All right, I'll see you in a second. First story I want to tell today comes from over the weekend, obviously. Like I said I was going to. But I went to the Yuengling Brewery in Pottstown, or Pottsville. Something with Potts in it. Either way, it's America's oldest brewery, Yuengling beer. It's made in Pennsylvania and all that stuff. And I wanted to go see it. I'm a big history guy. I'm into that type of stuff. America's oldest, I kind of want to see the OG, all that stuff. And so I went, and so you start off on this tour, and they take you into like a cave. And the tour guide did an excellent job. She was like giving out numbers and facts, and I wouldn't have been able to do all that. I'd just been like hosting. Like if I was ever a tour guide, it would just be like me doing material, and then like someone would ask me a question like, "Hey, when was this made?" Don't worry about it, Steve. Okay, don't worry about it. Here's some more jokes. Hey, how you doing? Like me at the gift shop or whatever. But you go into this cave and they tell you all about how like the beer was stored and people were like filling up kegs by hand, and you only had like a second to like hammer it shut, otherwise it would spray all over the place, and that would be bananas. And then they're like, "Oh yeah, during this cave, this is where they hid all the beer during the Prohibition and everything," which is nuts. And it stays perfect temperature year round. It's like cool in the summertime and hot in the wintertime. So I might just live in the cave. And I'm not a cave guy. If you know me, I'm not a cave guy. But it was pretty nice. And after that, they take you up the stairs and they take you through the manufacturing process and the bottling process. And it was like 104 degrees, and there was a speakeasy bar or something like that where the workers hung out at, which is pretty cool. I highly recommend everybody go if you're in the greater Lehigh Valley area to check out the Yuengling Brewery if you haven't been, because it was honestly pretty cool. If you're expecting like some sort of funny story, like I don't really have a funny story other than this one guy who I think is going to be me in 40 years. He was like, the tour guide had to leave for like 3 seconds, and he just thought it was time to take over the whole show. So like the tour guide left, and she was like, just stay here, I'll be right back. And immediately he raises his hand, he's like, "All right, I'm taking over the tour now. I'm Gary, I drink Yuengling." And like everybody laughed. Like he was wearing a Hawaiian shirt and like golf shorts. He was a pretty chill dude. And then later I saw him in the gift shop and he was playing cornhole. And they had cornhole in the gift shop. And I like cornhole, don't get me wrong. But it was way too loud. They had it in this echoey room. And people were being jerks and playing one-on-one. You play 2v2 so everyone else can play cornhole also. Don't be a jerk. Let everyone play. But anyways, Steve, he apparently had a big comeback because he walked over to his wife and like gave her a high five. He's like, "Hey, honey, we just had a 14-point comeback. It was amazing." So I'm sure Steve had a great night riding high after that big win at the Yuengling Brewery. But it was fun. I bought a shirt, kind of something to remember by, and then they had a map of like where you could put like your pins of where you were from your hometown or whatever. So I put my hometown on there. It wasn't on there. Worst is first. But it was a lot of fun. What else did I do this weekend? I had a pretty eventful weekend, I feel like. What did I do Sunday? Sunday, bloody Sunday. Okay, here we go. Here's the good story. Yeah, the Yuengling Brewery story. That stunk. Yeah, the good story. I went to the USA Curacao soccer game, the island of Curacao. It was my first pro soccer game I've ever been to in my life. I've been to USL games or like PDL games. It was basically like the lower level pro division of American soccer. But I'd never been to a professional soccer game, and I played soccer my whole life. I don't know, like, I guess I just never got around to it. And it was also my first USA event ever. So seeing the American national team was amazing. So the game was in Philly. Went to the game. It was 1-0. It was the most dominant slash boring 1-0 game I've ever went to. Like, we scored early. I don't think Curacao, they had one shot on target. It was kind of like boring, if we're being honest. So I just sat there and just like talked with like random guys I sat beside of and talked to my roommates and stuff like that. And we had a good time. But it was, it was like, it was all right. I good. We dominated, even though the stats won't show that. The stats won't dictate how much we dominated. But we won 1-0. It was a pretty dominant 1-0 win. And I wanted to see Pulisic score since he was from Hershey. He's a Pennsylvania guy. I want to see him score. He didn't score. Weston McKennie scored. It was a pretty good goal. He headed it in. I don't know if you could see me on TV or not, but I was wearing this like American tank top, and I was just like getting loose, a bunch of fist bumping. They were bumping some good like house music at halftime. I was getting into it. I'm digging that. That's my first time ever going to Lincoln Financial Field as well, the Link. And I thought it was a pretty good dip my toes into, because people know that Philly fans can be reckless. And the fact that, we were there and it wasn't really that crowded, I thought it was, a pretty good deal. But I genuinely enjoyed my time at the game. And, I'd probably do it again sometime. I probably won't go to an Eagles game. I could tell you that much, because Philly people scare me. Boulder on the shoulder. They have this chip on their shoulder that's gigantic, terrifying. Would never say anything bad about the Eagles. Even if the Dolphins played in Philly, I would not wear Dolphins gear. I would wear Philly gear and just like silently clap every time the Dolphins did something good, because I'm afraid I'm going to get choked out by Joe Schmo at some Eagles game. That's what I'm afraid of. But I highly recommend everybody go to a USA soccer game at least once in your life, or any sort of pro soccer game where it's like a national tournament, because it's honestly like a big party, and it was a lot of fun. So those are my 2 stories for today. Whenever I get back, I will be answering everyone's questions known to man, and we got some good ones. And you keep all those questions coming, because I read all of them. And I greatly appreciate you listening to the show, wherever you may be listening, however you may be listening. And we're back, and I'd just like to comment on the fact that I got back from the pool, which is why the episode is coming out so late. I'm off today. I was at the pool with some friends, and now my phone is slightly wet, like my finger is slightly wet, and I just fired off like 5 Instagram messages to people on accident, replying to their stories. So if you got a message from me, today is July the 2nd, it's a Tuesday, that was an accident. I did not mean to send you a message today. That if I just sent you like an emoji, I think that happened a couple times. My phone is wet, my fingers are wet, I was clicking through Instagram stories and it just sent. I apologize. So let's get into the questions. Today's first question comes from JM. Nope, that's her at name. MJ asks, what do you wish you could change about your hometown? Well, I want my hometown to build a casino. I want them to build some sort of sporting thing, get the casino money, get the sporting thing for people to do in the free time. Let's crack up on the, entertainment value of the city. Let's try to get some economy going that way, some sort of positive. I'm saying a bunch of words right now. I'm just saying a bunch of words. The casino thing is legit. Since China welched on that $84 million bet they were going to make about building the cracker plant in my childhood athletic fields that were demolished for no reason, let's build a casino there. It's right on the river. Maybe a little riverboat casino too. Okay, build a casino there, and we get some money coming in that way. Because Vegas wasn't built on winners, and I'll tell you that much as a man who has been known to throw money on stuff. Vegas was not built on winners. Build a casino. That's what I want my hometown to do. And also be more open-minded. Don't be jerks to everybody. HG asks a great question. This is a fantastic question. Best way you've pulled a girl's number? Well, let me think about that. Obviously, it was in college. I think there was one night at a local watering hole called Big Times. Big Times has Pop Shot. Big Times has a basketball game there. You shoot. And I had met a girl there that was friends of a friend. I didn't know her at all, but she was just friends of people I was rolling with. I met her on the way, and we kind of joked on the way there. And while we were there, we're hitting off, like chatting it up, doing what kids do, getting to know each other. And it's getting towards the end of like everybody's like about to leave, everybody's about to go to their respective dwellings. And I'm like, I wanted to keep talking to this girl. She was nice. She's good looking and all that. And I'm like, you know what? If I sink this shot, you got to give me your number. And you can't do that, fellas. You can't say stuff like that right out of the gate. Like, you can't be like, hey, if I tell you a joke and it makes you laugh, like, can I have your number? Because I've done that before, and that's kind of childish. But if you talk to him at least for like a few hours that night and stuff like that, you can kind of be like a dork. And I was like, if I drain this shot, you have to give me your number. She's like, oh, okay. Nailed it. Bang! Franco level 3. Bang! Nailed it. Got her number. Talked to her the rest of the night. Texted her a couple times throughout the week. Then I got ghosted. And that was the end of that. The best time I ever got a girl's number. Like, not the hardest I've ever worked, but like a goofy thing that I did. And it amounted to nothing. So that's probably the best scenario I can give you on that one. Oh, man. That was a good one. Thank you, HG, for the question. IB asks a really deep question here. How do you battle your insecurities? What keeps you grounded? I give my fears credit. That's something I like to do because we're all destined to do the thing we fear most in life anyway. So if you acknowledge the fear, you give it credit. You say, yeah, it is there, but it's not a part of me. It doesn't define me. It is there, but it is not taking over my life. That is how you get over said fear. And how do I manage my insecurities? I talk about them. I even talk about them on the show sometimes. Biggest fears are like things I worry about, and I write about it in my journals and stuff like that, and I make jokes about it. We all have our own way of coping with things. My way just happens to be making jokes. So find how you cope with things the best. And that's my answer on the what keeps me grounded. Like, I make jokes about myself, and my battling my insecurities is I give my fears credit. I acknowledge them. I don't avoid them. Baseball Legend, at Baseball Legend. Remember to go to baseballlegendapparel.com. He's just dropped a whole new line of merch to keep you looking hot during these summer months. Ask me my favorite sport to watch live on television and my favorite sport to watch live in person. My favorite sport to watch live on television is baseball. It took me a second to think about it because my job revolves around baseball and I watch it all day, every day. My favorite sport to watch on television is baseball. But my favorite sport to watch in person is probably football. There's a little bit more action. And the tailgate scene at West Virginia is second to none. And that makes the games a little bit more fun. So thank you for that question. Sorry for the quick answer. SG asked, how do I share these things, dude? I want to show support, but it never allows me to. I can't answer the questions. I ain't got the answers, Sway. I don't know how to do it. I'm not a tech guy. I'm the guy behind the guy. I'm also the talent. And if today's episode sounds weird, it's because I'm doing something different with the audio. I'm trying to make it sound more crisp, so I'm going to run it through a couple things real quick. It honestly could sound worse, but I guess we're going to cross that bridge when we get there. But I'm going to do something different with the audio today. So hopefully it sounds more crisp for everybody that can subscribe to me on Apple Music now, at Franco's World. Tell your friends. Yeah. That's my answer to that real quick. I'd have no idea how for you to share it. Google helps me out a lot. I'll Google it after the show and I'll send you a text, SG or something. But I honestly have no idea how to share it. Other people have been sending me clips of my show and I've been putting it on my Instagram story at FrancosWorld_. I have no idea, bud. A random guy that you can check out at Wild and Wonderful Podcast with 2 T's on it. They have honestly, they have a great sports show. West Virginia boys, love to give them some love. Love to give them some shine. They have a great sports show. So you can check that out there at Wild and Wonderful Podcast with 2 T's at the end of that. A random guy who is half the duo asks, if you could make a rule for 1 week and everyone had to follow it, what would it be? Now, I'm going to give you a vague answer. But I hate lying. Why lie? That's kind of been my life motto. Why lie? I'm like George Washington. I can never tell a lie. Or I'm Honest Abe. One of the two. Which one chopped down the cherry tree? George Washington did, didn't he? Yeah, my producer. He's nodding. Yeah. Okay. George Washington chopped down the cherry tree and he told the truth about it. I've never been a lie guy. Never saw the point of it. which sees what you get. I'm a man of honor. So everyone had to tell the truth, even if it's not for our own good. Even if lying is probably the best thing to do in this situation. Fib, little white lie, never hurt nobody. You got to tell the truth with yourself and with whoever you're talking to. What your intentions are in any situation. You got to tell the truth. So no lying for an entire week. That's my rule. Pretty lame rule. SB asks, what is one super petty / meaningless opinion you will fight someone to the death over? I'm glad you asked this, SB. I'm really happy you asked this because I will fight tooth and nail over the fact that Matthew McConaughey is one of the best actors of our generation. I look at the man's IMDb list. He walked into the right bar at the right time and met the right guy and was in Dazed and Confused and only had a bit character, but it was the most memorable character of the entire movie. He stole the show. Flash forward a couple years, he's doing movies about lawyers. He's doing Amistad. He's doing A Time to Kill. He's crushing the roles. Fast forward a couple years later, he's the rom-com legend. Constantly doing rom-coms. Younger, handsome guy, jacked, funny, accent, philosophical. He's crushing it. Takes a couple years off because he's tired of doing the rom-coms. He's only doing the rom-coms for the money. I got nothing against money. Heck, I love money. We all love money. But I'm just saying. He took a couple years off to reinvent himself and to do movies, do films, pictures, whatever you want to call them, that gave him stuff back, that felt better for him as opposed to he found love in the process of the work as opposed to the end result of the work. He found joy in his job. He loved the work. He loved the process of it. He loved the creating, the making of. And so he comes back after that couple-year hiatus and he makes Lincoln Lawyer. He makes Dallas Buyers Club. He makes Interstellar. He makes True Detective. These fantastic pieces of entertainment for us. And the McConaissance becomes a thing where he's doing Lincoln commercials and he gets to be all philosophical. He's speaking at schools and just giving speeches about what is it called? Something speech. I'm going to sound really stupid and it's not coming to me right now. And you guys are going to be cringing and you're going to be screaming, saying like, it's called this. When you give a speech at like a graduation. I cannot believe I can't think of that word. But yeah, he's doing that and it's going viral on YouTube and it's just making him just seem like this just crazy guy. I love Matthew McConaughey. I would love to meet him one day. I'd like to go to a University of Texas game where they're playing the Mountaineers and then we chop it up like grown folks and bust each other's chops about our respective schools. I would kill to be the McConaughey of West Virginia. Just walk around, blue blazer, just a string of green lights. Everybody happy to see me. Yeah, Matthew McConaughey is one of the most respected actors of all time. He took years off. He reinvented himself, and he won his industry's most prestigious award in the Oscars. You know? To that I say, all right, all right, all right. Moving on to the next question. CH asks, now I'm not an NBA guy. He asked an NBA question here. CH asks, what do you think of the crazy start of the NBA free agency? NBA free agency just started on the 30th, maybe the 1st. I don't know. It's Banana Land. We've upgraded from Banana Land to Banana World. It's Banana World. I need to find an NBA team. Growing up, I watched the Cleveland Cavaliers a lot because they were on TV every night. And now that I'm moving all the time, constantly, I don't really know who to be a fan of. If I work in New York next year, I'll probably be a Knicks fan because I love complaining. And the Knicks are a timeless brand, even though Brooklyn is the New York's team right now. Also kind of want to transition from the Pirates fans to a Mets fan. I love the complaining. Pirates fans and Mets fans have a lot of similarities, though. Both teams don't like their owners. Both teams are just meddling in the 3rd or 4th place in their respective divisions at all times. Occasionally you go on a run and you look good. You have some prospects come up and you look good. You make a dumb trade or two. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities there. But the NBA free agency, Kevin Durant going to New York, Kyrie Irving going to New York, Kemba Walker going to Boston, which makes me feel bad for Charlotte because I like Charlotte, but I just feel like they'll never be anything. I got a lot of friends in Charlotte. I might move to Charlotte. We'll see. If anyone's a Charlotte guy, hit me up. Let me know what you think about life there. And then obviously LeBron and Anthony Davis in Los Angeles. I think Kawhi Leonard is going to stay in Toronto. I think that would be the best move. I might get into the NBA this year because it seems like the good players are all going to be spread out. They're not going to be just on one through three teams, which I'm a fan of. D'Angelo Russell's at Golden State. Look at me naming basketball people. I don't even work in basketball. I don't even talk about sports that much. But look at that. I'm naming people, folks. Kristaps Porzingis signed an extension with Dallas. He had to, but he did. JJ Redick's going to the New Orleans Pelicans. I'm naming players. Unreal. I don't think Cleveland signed anyone. So there's that. But I think the thing about the NBA is it's Twitter sport. Football sometimes, but the NBA kills the drama. The NBA is it's like a reality show. It's amazing. I love the NBA drama. I don't watch NBA, and now I don't because they got taken off Reddit, so I'm definitely not going to watch it. But the drama in it is fantastic. I love it. Love the drama. Love the NBA drama. Yeah. Okay. Last question here. Nope, not last question. I lied. Next to last question here. Dank Dorito was his statement. R.I.P. Tyler Skaggs. Yep. The Los Angeles Angels pitcher, 27-year-old Tyler Skaggs, has passed. And condolences to his family, his teammates, and all of his loved ones. Very unfortunate situation. The Angels had a lot of bad luck with players passing before their time. Last question here from I Am. Why was Bo Peep dummy thick in Toy Story 4? I hadn't seen Toy Story 4, so I couldn't tell you, my man. I could not tell you, dude. I think that's some sort of personal reflection. You're going to have to ask yourself that question, my man. Some questions also don't need answers. All right, whenever I get back, we'll break some entertainment stuff down. I'm not going to tell you what, but it might be a little movie review. Remember to follow me on Instagram at francosworld_ and follow me on Twitter fmiller17. And I will see you in this second, folks. And we're back, and as we're recording this, the USA women's team is playing against England right now in the Women's World Cup, and they're up 2-1. So go USA. If they win a lot, I get to make a couple dents in student loan payment. So let's go us. If they win the whole tournament, I mean. I win a lot. All right. So the movie I'm going to break down today is an artsy film, and most of you probably have not seen it. Or maybe you have, because I feel like the people who listen to the show are into that type of things. But recently I watched Call Me By Your Name. Armie Hammer, Timothée Chalamet. It's amazing. Amazing picture. I had not seen it whenever it was popping. I watched it, as the contrarian that I am, I watched it years after its release. And I was a fan of it. It's pretty good. I don't even know if you called it like a love story. More like a summer fling story or something like that. It was really interesting to see the dynamic of these two guys that they didn't really like each other at first and were kind of standoffish, and then they grew like this sort of like summer fling relationship with each other. It was really interesting. And Armie Hammer is electric. That guy's, and obviously every girl in the world loves Timothée Chalamet. But I think Armie Hammer is amazing. I remember in The Social Network how he played two people in one. Are we going to forget about that? The Winklevoss twins? He was a Winklevi. Two at once. But yeah. Call Me By Your Name was a pretty intense artsy movie. I couldn't tell if it was taking place in France or in Italy. It looked like both at the same time somehow because they spoke like 30 different languages in that movie. So that was hard for me to keep up with. I I think Hammer's character was there for like law school or medical school. Either way, it was some sort of smart thing above my pay grade. I highly recommend you watch it if you're into art and you're above like 13 years old, because there's pretty maybe 16, because there's some pretty heavy scenes in that movie. But it was a really good story, and that's kind of what I'm into artsy movies and stuff like that. But it's not what I thought it was going to be. I'll tell you that much, because I thought it was just going to be like super this or super that, but it wasn't. It's actually a really beautiful story. The soundtrack was also really good, and I'm a big soundtrack guy, which is why I like Adam Sandler movies. Like, you can say what you want about Adam Sandler movies, but they're perfect to put them on and watch them as background noise. And his soundtracks are always electric because they're just like 70s and 80s rock pop hits. Like the movie Pixels. I don't like the movie Pixels, but the soundtrack in it is amazing. And I don't think we're ready to have the conversation yet that the movie Wreck-It Ralph is essentially a knockoff of Pixels, the Adam Sandler, Kevin James movie or whatever. Wreck-It Ralph, box office success. They made multiple Wreck-It Ralphs. They made one Pixel movie with arguably a better cast. Josh Gad is in it. Peter Dinklage is in it. Kevin James, like I already said. Michelle Monaghan is in it. She's amazing. I love Michelle Monaghan. She's also in Due Date, which I love that movie. That's an underrated comedy movie. But that's beside the point. And she's in True Detective Season 1. Also beside the point. But Wreck-It Ralph is Pixels. It's a video game movie that just draws on nostalgia factor and gets a bunch of money from it. Ready Player One did the same thing, but I actually like that movie. But Wreck-It Ralph is Pixels. They're playing a video game in real life, and that's how they defeat whatever challenges they have. They're like, oh, well, what if we just played the video game, and then that's how we won at life? Oh, ho, ho, ho. It's the same thing. I'm like, I have no idea where I'm going with that. But yeah, Adam Sandler movies need to get more respect for the soundtrack alone. That's My Boy is Hilarious, and it's got a soundtrack that's en fuego. All right. Remember to follow me on Instagram at francosworld_. We might cut it a little bit short today. Kind of spinning the tires. Remember to follow me on Instagram, francosworld_. Follow me on Twitter, fmiller17. You can now subscribe to me on Apple Podcasts. So remember to subscribe and rate, because I can say that now, which makes you sound like a jerk YouTuber. Rate it. Rate the show 5-star. Perfect. No mistakes ever. Totally professional. Me. Also, I'm on Spotify, Google Play, and the YouTube. In the meantime, you keep all those questions coming, because I read them all, and I greatly appreciate anyone who's ever asked a question, because you help the show grow. Remember to keep taking care of yourself, and I will see you when I see you. Have a good day.